going without Marte, like you said, Jared, scoring early is something that the Mets, when they score early, they win. And not having Marte in that two hole, it hurts because one, Nimmo and Marte getting on base for Alonso and Lindor, that's half the reason they're one of the best duos in baseball, RBI wise. So yeah, and Marte not he's a dynamic player where he adds that in the two hole. Now the Mets they need to find a new two hitter. Is that Pete Alonso? I don't know. Maybe. I hope. I really do like him in the two spot. He does produce from that two spot. I get the 4 strikeouts yesterday, but I just don't think that's going to happen a lot in the two spot. And Lindor, I feel like he can kind of hit anywhere in the lineup. He's that dynamic of a hitter. And then Canna, I like the creativeness of putting him in that 4 spot. He's came up in big moments a lot this year for the Mets. So I like the idea of if those 3 guys in front of him can get on base, he's going to be a guy that you can trust to drive in those runs. So I like the new lineup that they showcased last night. I love McNeil in that 5 spot. I would love to see McNeil in that 2 spot. I really would, but I don't think Buck wants to go Nimmo, McNeil, lefty, lefty. I think he wants to avoid that. So I like him in that 5 spot. And then Escobar, I mean, you got to keep him in that 6 spot no matter righty lefty matchup. Doesn't matter. And then, Vientos, I don't know. I'm not sold on him being in the starting lineup. I would love to see Guillorme. Obviously, Guillorme earns that spot over him. But Vientos over Ruff or Vogelback, I want to say I'd rather see Vogie over Vientos. I just feel like Vogie has more potential. I think Vientos obviously could be a better player as his career goes on. But I think this season, in the postseason run right now, I trust Vogie in a big spot more than Vientos. And then Nito, I want to see him in the lineup more. Because offensively, he's better, especially in big spots like last night. We needed him. We needed a big hit there. That double he hit he just comes up in big spots. He can be bad in 240, but the little hits that he gets, they're important. So I want to see Nito in that lineup just a bit more.
I would put Lindor in the 2 hole. In the absence of Marte, who is the most like him on this roster in terms of skill set, quick hands, speed, ability to just get on base, whether through the walk or through contact? That's Lindor. I don't think anyone really comes close to replicating Marte's skill set in those regards than Frank. So I would easily put him there. I like Alonso in the 3 hole. I get why Bucks put him in the 4 all season long. It's kind of been the obvious thing with Marte there, but in with him absent, I want to put my best hitter and give him the most chances with the first 2 guys on. Then I don't. I don't mind the idea of Pete leading off a bunch of innings. It's fine. But I would rather have him in the 3 hole. And if I have to have a leadoff man in the 4 hole, I want Jeff McNeil. So I would go McNeil 4, Canna 5, Escobar 6 for obvious reasons. After that, it's kind of pick your poison. I think at that point you have to go Vogelbach. I mean, over his last 11 games, 10 of which he started, he's a 310 batting average. Why Buck suddenly sat him in the Oakland series all but the last game in a pinch hit capacity or whatever game it was, it's lunacy. I get it's a lefty. I understand that all. But Vogie was red hot coming off that series against Milwaukee and Pittsburgh. So I think at this point you have to give Vogelbach the nod just because he's at least shown you the most success, not just this season, but as of late. After that, I think Nito has to start. I'm Team McCann, but he can't be starting right now.
Yeah, I like having Guillorme play second, Jeff and right, especially with Marte not here. I like Naquin, but I don't know. I'd rather have Guillorme's defense over Naquin's, sub-ish hitting potential. He really hasn't shown much.